channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve this original Pennywise look from the 1990 movie It, starring Tim Curry. I actually did the newest version of Pennywise 2 years ago when the It remake was released, and so I thought since It Chapter 2 was released this year, why not go back and throw it all the way back to the 90s to the original one starring the creepy king himself. And a little bonus in this video is I'm also going to be showing you how you can create Pennywise's teeth if you feel like being really spooky and also talking with a lisp. So anyways, with all that being said, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve this original Pennywise look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so to start off we're going to be making the fake teeth. So we're going to start off with some nice freshly clean teeth, and I'm going to be taking some polymorph plastic, pouring some of that into a bowl, and I'm going to be adding some boiling hot water. It does have to be boiling, it can't just be really hot water, it has to be boiling. And what you're going to do is once the plastic balls become translucent, that is when you can start working with them. So I'm actually just going to be molding them onto my teeth and kind of creating a little cast of my teeth, and I'm going to be holding that in there until it starts to dry a little bit before removing it and just letting it dry on its own. And once you're done with that, you're going to have two completely opaque mouth guard pieces. Next, I'm going to be creating the teeth, and so doing that, I'm just going to be taking tiny pieces of the polymorph plastic and forming them into triangular teeth shapes before moving on to my Skin Illustrator Flesh palette, taking the peach and the rose color, and using that, I'm going to be painting the gums. This is definitely going to try and make it look more like a realistic gum color, and something to keep in mind is that this is technically not mouth safe. Skin Illustrator does have a tooth lacquer palette, and this is not it, but this is what I was trained to use at my school, so just keep that in mind. I just want you guys to have that heads up. It does dry completely, but it technically is not mouth safe, so just keep that in mind. So next I'm going to be applying the teeth to the little gum pieces. So in order to do that, I'm going to be reheating the gums and the teeth until they can stick. You can also use a hair dryer, but I just went ahead and decided to do it this way and just hold it until it re-dries, and then just repaint the bottom part of the teeth the gum-like color so it looks like the teeth are coming out of the gums. Next, I'm going to be taking my Skin Illustrator Tooth Lacquer palette, taking Coffee Stain and Nicotine, mixing those two together, and I'm going to be applying that on to the teeth just to kind of help dirty them up and make them look more realistic and not so pearly and white, because Pennywise has been eating some kids, so we want to kind of try and reflect that as best as we can. So once that is done, we have our finished Pennywise teeth. Next, we're going to be moving on to the makeup application process. I'm going to start by popping in my creepy yellow contact lenses and blocking out my eyebrows. So I'm going to be taking my Elmer's glue, brushing my brow hairs upwards and gluing them upwards before taking a little spatula to help flatten that out a little bit more, and taking my Johnson's baby powder on a sponge and just patting that in before repeating this process 2 or 3 more times until my eyebrows are completely flat. I'm then going to be combing my hair backwards to try and make it as flat to my head as possible. I'm going to be taking some petroleum jelly and just brushing that through those hairs to kind of help protect them in case, for whatever reason, any spirit gum were to get on it. And so then I'm going to be taking my Bad Gone Evil latex bald cap and just pulling that over my hair, and I'm just going to be cutting off some of the excess edges that are a little too long and would just be too much of a hassle to try and glue down because it might take away from some of the character expressions. I'm then going to be taking my Ben Nye Spirit Gum on a Q-tip and just applying the adhesive to my forehead and around my face before pulling the bald cap back along with the rest of my hair. Using a hair tie, I'm going to be tying that all together, and then we're going to be moving on to blending the edges of the bald cap, where I'm taking my Capicil and Prosade mixture and waiting until it is more of a paste-like consistency and just blending that down and waiting for it to completely dry. Next, we're going to be moving on to his fake nose, where I'm going to be taking some liquid latex and applying that onto my nose, and then I'm going to be taking a jumbo cotton ball that I have and sticking that right on top before going into some liquid latex, and using my spatula, I'm going to be smoothing this entire surface, sometimes using my finger at points to kind of help smooth it even more, and we're going to be creating that big fake clown nose. I'm then going to quickly set my forehead from the edges with some baby powder before going into my Moon Creations body paint in white and just applying this with a fluffy foundation brush all over the bald cap. I prefer to use a stippling motion to kind of help build that up more, and I'm even going to be bringing that down onto my neck right now as well. I'm going to quickly set my forehead with my Johnson's Baby Powder on a large fluffy brush before going back into my Spirit Gum and applying this to the wig that I used for my original Pennywise look as well, which I will have all the details for how I did that linked down below. And then I'm just going to be going back into my foundation and just applying the rest of that all over my face before once again setting that with some more baby powder. And then I'm going to be going into my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in white, and using this I'm going to be applying to the areas that need a little bit more opacity, like the eyebrow area, and then I'm just going to be making sure to set that with my sponge once again. I'm then going to be going into my black eyeshadow from my Morphe James Charles palette, and using this I'm going to be lightly contouring my face. I don't want to do anything too harsh because it is very easy for the black eyeshadow to become too much too quickly, so I just want to give a little bit of structure before going into my Moon Creations black body paint. And I'm going to be creating his sad looking eyebrows. Now this is the thing, is I want him to look scary, but he also has very droopy, sad looking eyebrows, so that's definitely a struggle, but I did my best. I'm then going to be taking some of my ColourPop concealer in white and just applying this onto the eye to help brighten it up a little bit, and I'm just going to be setting that with some of my white eyeshadow from my Morphe James Charles palette, and I'm going to be doing the exact same thing on my other eye as well. This is really going to help take away any of the shadows or kind of patchiness that there was initially, and then I'm going to be going into my Maybelline Lasting Drama eyeliner and just creating some simple eyeliner on my upper lash line and then bringing it down to my lower lash line as well, and making sure that they connect on the inner and outer corners. Next, I'm going to be going into my Moon Creations body paint in light blue, and I'm going to be creating a simple triangle on my eyes. This is very, very simple, and then I'm just going to be taking some of the blue eyeshadows from my Morphe palette and just setting that. And this doesn't have to look perfect by any means. It actually should look like when you open it, you barely see anything when you fully open your eyes. It's just like the tip of the peak. I'm then going to be taking my Moon Creations body paint in black and light blue and mixing them together. We're going to get kind of this navy color, and I'm just going to be creating the two tiny dashes under his lower lash line before going into my Tarte Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara and just lightly sweeping this through my top eyelashes. Following that, I'm going to be going back into my black eyeshadow, and I'm just going to be creating some light shading around my eyes and kind of just helping accentuate the bone structure a little bit more to make him look a little bit more aged and sad. So I'm going to be accentuating the apples of the cheeks especially, and even going down onto my mouth as well. Next, I'm just going to be going into my Moon Creations body paint in red, and I'm going to be applying this all around the nose, even bringing it down to the sides of my nostrils as well, because from the side profile, he definitely has that part colored in his reference photos and in the original movie. And I'm just filling in the rest of the nose with that, and then I'm going to be bringing this down onto the lips. Now, he does have very thin lips in this, so I'm not going to be accentuating my Cupid's bow area as much, but I'm definitely going to be applying a lot of the body paint on the lower portion of my lips, and then lightly outlining this with some of my black eyeliner just to try and keep it thin. And then I'm going to be extending my lips to make it, you know, all creepy and clown-like. I'm then going to be going back into my black eyeshadow and adding some shading around my lip area to kind of help darken it up a bit. And then last but not least, I'm going into my ColourPop Villains Lip Gloss in Sad But True, just to kind of help give it a little bit more iridescence before adding a few wrinkles around the eye area of Pennywise's face. And that is the completed 𝐼 1990 Tim Curry Pennywise makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below what you'd like to see next. Also comment down below which 𝐼 is your favorite. Is it the 1990 Tim Curry movie, the Chapter 1, or the Chapter 2 remake, or even the book? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Personally, my favorite is the 𝐼 Chapter 1 remake. I just thought it was absolutely amazing. So going along with that, I did do my remake Pennywise makeup look back in 2017. If you guys want to check that out, I will have that linked down below for you guys. But don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Hello, children. What are you doing the great honors of following me down to the sewer where I sleep?